lesson number 3. So you have to take page number 82. Open your textbooks and take page number 82. In the third lesson of political science, we will be studying about political parties. Political parties, that is our lesson number. Lesson number 3. We know we follow democracy. When we speak about democracy, democracy can be defined as a system of government in which people elect their representatives directly or indirectly. So in democracy, election is very important. And for election, political parties are a must. Without political parties, elections cannot be conducted. So in a democratic country, political parties play very important role. Without political parties, we cannot even think of democracy. So today's lesson, we'll be studying about political parties. Now you can have a look on the textbook. The last lesson we studied about constitution and even about election procedure. Last lesson we have already studied. That time only we have discussed about political parties. Political parties are an integral part of democracy. Political parties are a link. All of you underline the word link. Link, you can write joint. J-O-I-N-T. Joint. Or we can say connector. Connector. Political parties are a link that connects common people, democracy, representation, and elections. In all sphere of social life, political parties play a very important role. It plays very important role in formation of government. It plays very important role for taking the opinion of people and reaching the opinion or passing the opinion to political leaders. That is also being done by political parties. So in democracy, political parties are having a great role. Political parties exist in all democratic systems. In fact, political parties compete with each other only in a democracy. In democracy, political parties compete among each other because the main aim of political parties is to gain power, achieve power. That is the main function of political parties. So in this chapter, we will study the political party system in India. For example, in your school, sometimes election is taken place in school. School election may be there, but in our school it was not there. But some schools they conduct elections. And if you are going to see Ichalkaranji city also, you can see many organizations. So political party is also one of the organizations. In your school and surrounding, you must have seen some groups, institutions, organizations working to achieve some objective. For example, we have our Sangli Mission Society. Sangli Mission Society has got its own goals and objectives. Our school is also one of the institutions of Sangli Mission Society. The main aim of our school is to impart quality education to children. So, in that particular way, also Sangli Mission, Mission Society is an organization. So there are many organizations in Ichalkaranji also. You may have read about various movements and their work. You might have heard about Narmada Bachao Andolan. Narmada Bachao Andolan, which was led by what is that? Narmada Bachao Andolan. It was an organization, and its leader was Medha Patkar. You might have heard about that lady. She was a great environmentalist. On the bank of the river Narmada, they were supposed to make one dam, but it will badly affect the people of that surrounding areas. So she said there should not be a dam to be built. So she made one movement. Okay, so there are many movements in India, even in the world, which has got some specific objectives. Just as there are active groups, institutions and movements, similarly, there are political parties who contest election. Political party is also just like a movement. But this political party's main thing or main aim is to establish power. That is the main purpose. Always. Political party's main aim is to establish power and rule the country. Political parties are also a kind of social organization, but there is a difference between political parties and other institutions and organizations in society. Now I am going to discuss with you what is the difference between the aim of political party and some social organizations. For example, I have just told you Narmada Bachao Andolan. It was an environmentalist organization. But when we are going to compare political parties with Narmada Bachao Andolan, let us see what is the difference which we can find. The difference is on the goals and style of working of political parties and other organizations. Now, for example, that Narmada Bachao Andolan movement was there, it was stopped there, and why, their purpose was served. When their purpose is fulfilled, they stop the functioning of that particular organization. But political parties' function is not ending by today only. It has got its objectives to reach to a long period of time. It is a continuous process. Now, for example, Narendra Modi has become the Prime Minister in 2019. Now, Narendra Modi must be thinking how to retain his power in 2024 election, how to win that election. And the Congress party, the main opposition, what they are thinking how to capture power in the 2024 Lok Sabha election. So political parties are working forever, and their main aim is to capture power. On this background, we can say that when people form organizations with the objective of achieving political power, you need to underline political power. Everybody should have a pencil or pen. Underline the word political power. It's very important. And participate in the electoral process. Such organizations are called political parties. So, what is political party? Political party is an organization in which some people join, and their main aim is to form a government. Political parties thus can be described as a group of people who aim to contest election, win election, and get power and establish the government of their party. So what is political party? Political party consists of group of people, and their main aim is to organize themselves and work towards achieving a goal, and that goal is to form the government and rule the country. So capturing power, that is the main purpose of political parties. Now we are going to discuss today what are the characteristics of political party. When we say about political party, what are the characteristics of political party? Characteristics you need to underline. Features. Features. F-E-A-T-U-R-E-S. Features means specialities. Characteristics of political parties. When we say about political parties, what are the features, what are the speciality of that particular political party? Let any political party be there, but it has got some characteristics. It has got some specialities or features. Now I am going to discuss with you what are the characteristics of political parties, what are the nature of political parties, what are the features of political parties, or what are the specialities of political parties. Number one, to be in power. All of you underline. To be in power. I have just told you the main aim of political parties is to capture power, to acquire power. If a political party, when it becomes a ruling party, then only they can enjoy power. If power is there, they have money. If they get power, they have everything with them. When a political party does not have power, it cannot influence anywhere. So, political party always desires to get power. To be in power, that is the first characteristic feature of political party. Achieving power, underline, achieving power through election. Achieving power through election is the main objective of political parties. Thus, different political parties compete with each other to get power. There is nothing wrong in this competition, but the competition should be fair. Now, last year, we all know in 2019, there was an election for Lok Sabha. Many political parties participate in the election process. But ultimately what happened, BJP got majority and they came into power. So competing for power is a natural process, but only thing is that this competition should be fair. Underline the word fair. Fair means proper. There should not be any corruption. There should not be any malpractice. In order to get power, when the election process is going on, you are not supposed to indulge in some corruption. You should not indulge in malpractices. Election process should be fair. There is no problem of competing different political parties for acquiring power. There is not a problem. There is not bad also. But that is very important for the existence of democracy. Election is important for the existence of democracy, but when the election is going on, it should go in fair way. It should be proper. So that is the first characteristic of political party. Now we are going to study the second characteristic of political party, that is to pursue an ideology. To pursue, you need to underline the word pursue. Follow an ideology. Each political party should have an ideology. For example, Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, it has got one ideology, that is Hindutva. Hindutva, when we hear the word, you don't think like that. Hindutva means what? BJP is supporting only Hindus. No. Hindutva means Indian culture. BJP is supporting Indian culture. They want to preserve, this particular political party wants to preserve the culture of India. So that is the meaning of to pursue an ideology. For example, when we speak about Indian National Congress, their main ideology is, secularism. Secularism means in India, all religions should be treated alike. There is no special religion in India. And Indian National Congress is always supporting for secularism. So this is the ideology of one particular party. Each and every party has got its own ideology. Now, two main parties' ideology I have told you. Number one, BJP, Hindutva, Indian culture. Second one, Indian National Congress, secularism. Treat all religions alike. Now, all of you listen. Every political party has some policies and veiled views. Parties have a particular stand about social issues. These together make party ideology. The people who consider any specific party ideology as acceptable support that political party. So those who are supporting the Hindutva ideology, they are supporting that particular party. Those who are attracted by the secularist ideas of Congress party, they are following Indian National Congress. So those who are interested in party, they are supporting the ideology of that particular party. Like that only many, you must be knowing, your moms, dads, or uncles, they must be following one particular party. Why they are following that particular political party? Because they are attracted towards the ideology of that particular party. That ideology differentiates that particular party from other party. Understand? The people who consider any specific party ideology are as acceptable support that political party. Social support received by a political party is called as mass base. Mass, you have to underline. Mass means people. Mass base, people support. Mass base, you can underline. People support. Mass, we all know, people support. Mass base means support. People support. Each political party is trying to develop mass support. When they get mass support, when we say that political party can achieve power. Capturing power is based on the mass support. Whichever party is getting more mass support, that party can come into power. So all the parties trying to get mass support or mass base. In modern days, ideologies of all political parties appear to be similar, hence it has become difficult to differentiate the parties on the basis of ideology. Nowadays we cannot differentiate parties on the basis of ideology because all parties follow the same ideologies. On the basis of ideology, we cannot differentiate political parties now because publicly they are supporting secularism, all the parties. Now, the third characteristic of political party is to have a party agenda. All of you underline, to have a party agenda. Agenda means program. To have a party agenda. Now, for example, now I will just tell about BJP party, Bharatiya Janata Party. They have got 3 agendas to be fulfilled. 3 agendas. And from now this 2019, BJP came into power. Within 1 year, we can say 2 agendas have been fulfilled. First agenda was the cancellation of Article 356. Article 356 of the Constitution, which gives special status for Jammu and Kashmir. We all know last year it has been scrapped. Jammu and Kashmir was given a special statehood that is being scrapped, that is being cancelled. That was one of their agenda before coming to power. Second agenda was the construction of Ram Temple or Ram Mandir. That is also being fulfilled now. We all know last a couple of days before, its foundation stone foundation stone was laid just a couple of days back. And the third agenda of BJP is civil code. I will explain you what is civil code. Civil code means what you know. There should be common rules and regulations for all the followers of all religions. For example, after the death, a Hindu dead body is cremated, whereas the Muslims and Christian dead bodies are buried. When the unified civil code will come into existence, there will be only one particular burial will be there, that will be cremation. So what is there, irrespective of religion, there should have some common practices, common rituals to be followed. That is the meaning of unified civil code. So these are the agenda of Bharatiya Janata Party. So Congress is also having their own party agenda. Political parties prepare their party's agenda on the basis of party ideology. They implement, underline the word implement. Implement means put into practice. Put into practice, implement. Put into practice. To have a party agenda means political parties prepare their party's agenda on the basis of party ideology. They implement the agenda after they get political power. Now, I told you, they were having 3 agendas. Scrapping of that particular article of given special status for Jammu and Kashmir, that has been scrapped now. Another one recently, that is the laying the foundation stone of Ram Temple. The third one is there. Now we don't know when they will try to practice that. Unified civil code, which I have discussed with you now. Even if they do not get political power, political parties try to get support of people on the basis of this agenda. They will try to get the support of people by telling them, if we will come into power, we will do this. So some particular people must be wanting for that, then they will give vote for them. And after they come into power, they expect the government to do that. So that only it has been done by BJP party right now. Now, we are going to see the next characteristics of a political party is to establish a government. It's very important. This is the very important characteristics of a political party. Political party's main purpose is to establish a government. So, to establish a government, that is the next characteristic feature of a political party. It's very simple to understand. To be a ruling party, political parties establish the government and govern underline, rule. Govern means rule the nation. The political party which gets majority in election form the government. The parties which do not get majority act as opposition parties. Now in Maharashtra we can see there is a government by Shiv Sena, Nationalist Congress Party and Indian National Congress. They are the ruling party in Maharashtra and BJP is the opposition party. So this is another characteristic of a political party. The next one is to act as a link. To act as a link, a connector, link between the government and the people. Between government and people. This is another, characteristic of a political party. Political parties is a link, is a connector, is a join, is a medium between people and government. People must be having many issues. They are telling the political parties, and political parties, they may convey this particular thing into the government. Then government will make some policies in order to fulfill the demands of people. So political party is a link between people and government. Political parties work as a link between the government and the people. Political parties communicate the demands and complaints of the people to government. You cannot go to Chief Minister directly and say your grievances or complaints, but you can tell that particular thing to the political leader of Ichalkaranji city. And through him it can be forwarded to upper level of the political leadership. That can be conveyed to the government, and government can support him. or government can make some policy. So political party is a link between government and the people. The government tries to get support of people for its policies and programs through political parties. Now we are going to study changing nature of political party system in India. This is very simple to understand. Since 1947 to 1977, there was only one political party ruling India. That was Indian National Congress. There was one party dominance in India till 1977. No other party could challenge the existence of Indian National Congress. No party could challenge the ruling party, Indian National Congress. So 1947 to 1977, 30 years of age, 30 years of period, we can say, it is the period of one party dominance. No other party could come into power. So this nature has been changed. It has been changed in 1977. Before 1977, what happened? Indian National Congress lost its majority and Morarji Desai became the Prime Minister. It was not, that particular government was not formed by Morarji Desai government only, it is with another parties. It was a coalition government, we can say. After 12 years in 1989, the story was the same. 1989, no party could rule India alone. So there was one party ruled, United Front, in 1989. That was also coalition government. So let us see that. The Congress was a strong political party in the post-independence period. Post-underline, after independence, Congress was the main party of India. Congress had a majority at center in most of the states. Not only the state, central government, most of the state governments were ruled by Indian National Congress. Indian policies was controlled by the Congress party. This era was described as single dominant party system. Underline all of you. That's what I told you. One party dominance. Single dominant party system you need to underline. Around 30 years of time, 1947 to 1977, this 30 years of time is known as single dominant party system. Why? Because there was only one political party could rule India. Other parties were not coming to power. If they came into power also, they were in few in number. The dominant party was Indian National Congress. The non-Congress parties came together and challenged the single dominant system in 1977. That's what I told you just now. 1977, the first non-Congress Prime Minister came into power. You can write there, Morarji Desai. I will just rub this. Morarji Desai. Where 1977 is there, you need to write there. Morarji Desai. So in 1977, he became the Prime Minister of India. He never belonged to Congress party. He belonged to another party, Janata Party. He became the leader of Janata Party and he became the Prime Minister of India in 1977. So first time a non-Congress Prime Minister became or took over as a Prime Minister of India. After the 1989 Lok Sabha election, the system of one party system emerging as a dominant party came to an end. 1989, when I have already explained to you in the last year history lesson, in 1989, VP Singh, you have to underline 1989. Above that, you write VP Singh. VP Singh, he belongs to one party, Janata Dal, VP Singh. In 1989, VP Singh became the Prime Minister of India. It was also a coalition government. In that Janata Dal government, BJP was supporting that government. Even the leftist parties, CPI, CPIM, all these parties were supporting this party or the Prime Minister VP Singh, he belongs to Janata Dal. So that was also a coalition government. After 1989 Lok Sabha election, the system of one party emerging as dominant party came to an end. Since then, different parties began to come together to form coalition governments. Last year we studied about coalition government. What is coalition government? If one party cannot have majority, it can take support of many parties and take over power. This is the meaning of coalition government. If one party does not have the majority, it can take the support of other parties and can rule the country. That government, the government which is formed, such a type is called as coalition government. Both the Bharatiya Janata Party and Congress Party made an experiment of establishing coalition governments. The belief that coalition government bring instability was proved wrong by the political party system in our country. There was a belief long back. If a coalition government is there, that is not good for democracy. Coalition government is not durable. Coalition government will not last long. That belief was become wrong. The recent experiments of coalition government has proved successful. There are two coalition partners are there in India. One is BJP alliance, that is NDA. NDA stands for National Democratic Alliance. National Democratic Alliance, this is the coalition of BJP. When we are going to see Congress, they have UPA. All of you write in your textbook. UPA, United Progressive Alliance. Now, for example, 1999 to 2004, India was ruled by A.B. Vajpayee. His coalition or his alliance was NDA. 2004 to 14, India was ruled by UPA under Dr. Manmohan Singh, United Progressive Alliance. Now, 2014 onwards till now, India is ruled by the alliance of NDA, National Democratic Alliance. So this particular equation is proven successful. In fact, the coalition government system stabilized in India. Now we are going to see, it is already given in the yellow box here, NDA and UPA. Now I am going to explain you what is a national party and what is a state party. Then I will finish our discussion. All of you see this pink box. The national parties and the regional parties. To get recognition as a national party, Election Commission has prescribed the following condition. If a political party is declared as national party, Election Commission has a right to declare any party as national party or state party. Now I am going to discuss with you what are the rules for declaring one party as a national party. For BJP, Congress, they are national parties. So what are the procedures? Number one, I will tell you. A political party should secure minimum 6%. You underline 6%. Very important. You need to underline. A political party should secure minimum 6% of valid votes in 4 or more states in the earlier Lok Sabha or state assembly elections. In the last Lok Sabha election, 2019 election, a political party, if they are getting 6% of total valid votes, how many votes were voted? Is 6%. If they are getting in Lok Sabha election in 4 or more states, then that party can be declared as a national party. Or even in state assembly also, if otherwise another thing is there, if 4 members are elected to Lok Sabha, if a political party is having 4 MPs in Lok Sabha, then that party is also declared as, what do you say, national party. Another thing is there, the candidates of party should be elected from minimum 2% of constituencies out of total Lok Sabha constituencies and from minimum 3 states. This I will explain to you. Now, for example, what is the total number of Lok Sabha? We can say it can be 545. What is the 2% of this? That can be like this, 5.2, 545 means, 5.5 people should be there. 545, 10% will become, like 5.5 people. That means again, this is 1%. 1% of 545 is something about 5.5 like that. Okay. So like that 2% means, 11. 11 MPs. 11, what is that? Not MPs, I'm sorry. 11 constituencies. Lok Sabha constituencies are taken up by one political party. Then also that party can be declared as a national party. I will explain. The candidates of a party should be elected from minimum 2% of constituencies out of total Lok Sabha constituencies and from minimum 3 states. That means out of these 545 MPs, if 11 MPs are elected from a political party, that is the 2% of the total Lok Sabha constituencies. Then also that party can be a national party. Now I am going to tell you state party, then I will just finish our discussion. To get recognition as a regional party or state party like Shiv Sena, MNS, Manse, Maharashtra, Namanirman Sena, these are state parties of Maharashtra. In order to be recognized as a state party, let us see what they should follow. A political party should secure minimum 6% of valid votes in the earlier Lok Sabha or state assembly election, and minimum 2 members should be elected in the Vidhan Sabha. I am telling about state party now. All right, 2 MLAs, if a political party can have in the legislative assembly, then that party can be recognized as a state party. Another thing, or either this condition they have to follow, or one more option is there. Let us see. A political party should secure minimum 3% of seats out of the total Vidhan Sabha, or minimum 3 seats. 3% of seats is 3 seats only. I mean 3 seats, because now I am going to discuss with you 288. That is the number of total members of Maharashtra State Legislative Assembly. What is the 3% of this one? 288. Suppose now we are not discussing that. Only thing is that minimum 3 seats. If a political party is having 3 MLAs in our legislative assembly, then that party is also declared as state party. So today's discussion I am stopping, and next Friday, we will be studying about national parties and state parties. Okay, bye.
Pushpin